let's talk about basing. And what I've been doing on my basing for a while, I've been doing a lot of it. What I did on the Dark Angels was I used a press mold base to give the texture I wanted on it without too much effort. And this is what I used. So these are from a company called Happyseppuku, and they came in packs of 3, so 3 each in each one. So there's for 15 bucks. They're $5 a mold. They were on Kickstarter, but these ones here are quite a bit different than the ones they had on Kickstarter. So I bought these because they will work for all 3 of my basing methods: the lava for the Space Marines, the desert for the orcs, and the swamp for the Tau. This is the one I used for lava, and I actually use this as a lava here. I actually used some of these too, these other ones here. This one also worked really well for lava. I just painted these as lava instead of as swampy. So, and then of course for the swamp, they actually have actual leaves and plant debris. So I haven't used these yet, so these are going to be waiting if I ever do any tile basing. But this dried river here, and actually any of this will work. Both of these will work great for desert basing for the orcs. So it's just a simple press mold. It's not a big deal. You just roll out some material flat, push this down on, and put it on the base. So commonly you'll see people use green stuff. The problem is green stuff is astonishingly expensive, especially if you're using it just for bases. In my opinion, it's not worth it. So what I was trying instead was clay. Now there are different kinds of clay, and I was looking for an air dry clay, and air dry clay isn't that much cheaper than green stuff. So the next option was Sculpey, which is a baked clay. The problem is you can't bake the stuff on the bases. I've tried. It doesn't work. The bases, even though it's only at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, 93-ish Celsius, it doesn't melt the plastic bases, but it does shrinky-dink them. If you remember what shrinky-dinks were, it's what the effect is on the plastic bases at temperature, is that they go all shrinky-dink on them. So you actually have to do this separately. So what I've been doing is I've been just taking some foil here, working all on the foil, because that way you can just transfer the material straight from the workbench straight to the cookie sheet, and you don't even have to get the cookie sheet dirty. And I just need to do some bases for my knobs that I'm working on. So that's why I decided to get the stuff out and make a video. So the first step with Sculpey is you have to knead it to soften it up and prepare it. And it just takes a couple minutes here, just folding it over again and again until it's nice and soft. And you will definitely feel it gets softer as you work on it. And then you need something to roll it out. You know, a paint can works well. An actual rolling pin would be good if I had one. So I've always been doing other substitutions. I think I'll use this tonight. Just a glass jar here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep kneading this. There we go. That's probably about good. And since I'm only doing 7 25mm bases instead of like bike bases and stuff, I probably don't need a lot. So we are going to kind of spread it out a little bit. You don't want it you don't need it too thick. And unfortunately, the water does work on this just like it does with the green stuff, so you just want to get it wet. And this you actually have to get quite a bit wet. So we're going to go with some water on there. And then we'll take this thing right here, and just roll it out. Kind of stick to this, so I may not be able to use all of it, but yeah, we got some good sticking right there. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Nice and thin. And so what we're going to do here is just going to roll it out this way on the, and then go bake it that way. And of course, we're going to trim these things down to about the size of the base, so there's not a whole lot of extra. This also gives the advantage of not having to wait the 24 hours for the green stuff to dry, because this stuff will stay soft until you bake it, and it only takes about 10 minutes to bake. Because you're supposed to be 15 minutes per quarter inch, and you're not even be anywhere near a quarter inch on these things. So we're just going to grab a base here. And the old base will do. Well, I gotta have a 25 millimeter here somewhere. I just want to get a rough estimate. I'm not going to try and precisely cut the stuff. Kind of chunks closer to an inch. And that way what I can do is I can recycle the clay into the next piece. Yeah, and again, we'll just glue it down to the base and then we'll trim it off again after it's baked. So, just take the stuff up and we'll mix up some more. And we'll just do this again and again until we get enough little pieces here to do all our bases. So I'm just going to set off to the side here. So I'm going to use the, what is this, the dried riverbed, which is perfect for desert basing. Nice, good thick layer of water on here. You could also use Vaseline, but I have not had as much luck with that as you would think. Beauty. Okay, so I'm going to keep working on this till I have 7 pieces of base, and then I will go bake it. Okay, so this is what you get after baking. So these were in for 10 minutes, weren't quite done yet. You see one of them broke off here. I tried to check it out. So I left them in, so I turned the oven off and just let them sit there while it cooled off. And so they're, I just cracked them in. So they're not very flexible, so you have to be careful. So all I do now is just super glue them down to the base, trim them off, and paint them. So, but yeah, I also did one of the, this is the dry riverbed, no, the other one's blasted plains or something like that. I can't see much in here, but I'll go ahead and get these glued down and painted, and we'll take a look to see what the final result is. Okay, so the paint job is all done now, and just real quick, I'm going to show you the textures on here from the 3 different molds that I used. So overall, I'm extremely happy with the product. Both the Happyseppuku textured push molds and using Sculpey instead of green stuff. Again, it just comes down to price, because if you're going to use green stuff on something like this, you're better off just buying resin bases. I think you're going to save money that way. Because that one little $2 or $3 package of Sculpey is done probably like 30 to 40 Space Marines with the 32mm bases, 6 or so bikes, and then these right here, and I still have some left. So, you know, pretty much close to an entire army's worth for the $3 in Sculpey. And the same amount of green stuff would have been probably 3 times that amount, or 5 times that amount. So, but you do have to do some pre-planning with the Sculpey, because I said you do have to bake it. I mean, sure, there are other alternatives you could try that maybe aren't oven baked, but I do like the oven bake. These got a little overbaked, so they were a little brittle, but normally I don't have any such problem. I just left these in the oven too long. So again, great. This is again happyseppuku.com. These are theme packs, but they also sell them individually for the same price, so you don't really get a discount buying the pack. But these are what my local game store had, so I picked them up. I thought it was a great deal. $5 per mold gives me 6 varieties to use on all of my armies, so I don't have to use any others. And I thought it's a great product. Thanks for watching.